Well, welcome back to Joy in the Journey. My name is Donna, and I make videos about living life with a disability and finding joy in the journey. Last time that we met, for those of you who are returning, and for those of you that are new here, welcome. But we had talked about doing a study or a devotion on the subject of hope and what it means to me and the role that it plays in our lives. And I'm planning on at least a couple of more after this. But tonight, we're going to begin by trying to define what hope is. And if you notice me looking down, it's because I'm still working on not being nervous on camera. And I found that when I did some videos that I was just winging it, I was all over the board. So if you see me looking down, I'll try to look up as often as I can. That's what I'm doing, is I'm kind of reading off of what I prepared ahead of time. So that's what we had talked about doing, and that's what we're going to do tonight. So I wanted to go on my Facebook and ask some of my friends. I've got quite a few Christian friends that I knew would really help me to have some definitions of what hope means to them, and other friends that maybe are not necessarily Christians, but what does hope just mean in general to people? And so I asked my friends on Facebook how they would define it, and the responses really did vary from things like they hoped of what things they hoped would happen, so future plans or future things they'd like to see happen, things like things that they hoped they would gain in possessions, like we all go through, we hope that someday to have a home, or we hope one day to have a car, or we hope one day to have that college education or that PhD or that master's degree, whatever it is that you hope for. And so, it went from that spectrum to that. And then there was one person, the very first one, which I'm going to kind of keep you in suspense, that defined it in a 5-letter word, which we'll get to in a moment. But before I tell you what that is, I did a Google search, and it gave me a definition that my Bible dictionary also gave me as a definition for what the Bible has to say about what hope is. And it said this: it is the confident expectation of what God has promised, and its strength is in His faithfulness. Now I have to tell you, the word His and the phrase His faithfulness really did grab my attention. So, and that's what I had just said on the next page, which was I had noticed that word His and His faithfulness. And so going back to that very first response, that 5-letter word, what would it be? It would be Jesus. Now, by no means do I regard myself as some kind of spiritual warrior or spiritual conqueror, because I, many times with my disability and just in life in general, have come to many dark places and many places of feeling completely hopeless, like it was just, I give up, the white flag, I give up, I surrender, I can't do this anymore, I'm fed up, I'm frustrated, I'm tired, and I've got a hair on my face that I can't get off. And that's really frustrating me too, isn't it? I'm going to leave that in there, and I'm not going to delete this video and start over. I'm going to leave that in there for your amusement. But anyway, so as I said, I'm not some really strong in my faith. I mean, I do feel that I'm strong in my faith, but I fail a lot in my faith. I flunk out sometimes. I feel faithless at times, and I think we all go through those times, But I have always said, and I say this to a lot of people that come to me when they're feeling really down and really discouraged or frustrated about something, or they just are at their wits' end. When you come to nothing, when you come down to nothing, there is Jesus. So even in my times of, let's say, for an example, I've just had a very rough week. I'm very tired. It's been very, very busy. And just doing the menial tasks of washing up, getting dressed, whatever, putting my shoes on, whatever, for whatever reason, is really daunting to me. And it's really frustrating me. I just want to just give up, and I have to just remember that, this is temporary, and that whatever Satan meant for bad for my life, and whatever has been not been given to me that has been to others, whatever Satan has taken from my life, that I was not able to have, like, for an example, my own home, not being able to walk, never feeling the sand between my toes, never feeling what it's like to walk on grass, although I kind of have an idea of that because I did walk at one time with crutches and braces, but it's not quite the same as what walking people have. When I get down about those things, I realize that at the end of the day, in my deepest self, I remember that God has so much more planned for me, and it may not be here, and it may not be now, and it might, but if it isn't, I know that my eternal glory, that whatever sufferings I'm going through here now, the glories that I'm going to experience there is going to be so much more than what I'm experiencing here. Even the greatest joys that we experience here are going to be nothing really compared to what we'll have there. So someday I will walk, and I just noticed my black cat behind me. Someday I will walk. Someday I will be able to pick something up from off the floor without real strong effort to do so. Things like that. Things that other people take for granted, perhaps, that come very easily to them. Bending down for something, or, getting down on the floor and sitting on the floor and playing with your little one, and not having to try to figure out, okay, now how am I going to get back up? Things like that. So anyway, when we're down to nothing, there is Jesus. And as I was writing this, I ended up almost creating kind of like a poem. So I'm just going to read it, and let me know in the comments below what you thought, and add your thoughts to what I'm saying here. So when circumstances aren't changing for the better. No, wait, let me start again. When life has you down and you can't get any lower, there is Jesus. When circumstances aren't changing for the better, or just not at all, there is Jesus. When you get broadsided by an unexpected, unpleasant, or traumatizing event, there is Jesus. When life as you know it changes and it's frightening to you, there is Jesus. When your prayers seem to go unanswered and the heavens are silent, and I have been going through a season of that right now myself, and so I know that feeling, but I also know He is still there. I have been having that comfort from Him lately of, I'm still here. I am listening. I'm just saying, not yet. I'm telling you to wait. So our hope is not in the things or our future plans, because we can plan all day, but the plans might not pan out because it's not God's will for you. But in what He has promised, that is the solid foundation on which we can stand. And it's in His word. His promises are in His word for us, and they're true, and there's strength, and there's power in them. And then, so that is the one thing that I really take home with me in my heart and try to remind myself of every day. So next week, I know this video was only like 9 minutes long, but that's okay. Next week, God willing, or in the following week, because I did mention 2 weeks ago, I think it was, that I would probably do a video every other week, because I seem to be struggling with finding a good day to do things, and then being busy during the week, and by the time I get to the end of the day, I'm too tired to sit down and do much of anything else. So but I would like to start, at least doing it every other week for y'all, and pick a day, and then I can, in the community tab, let you know when that will be. But it's kind of looking like it's going to be Mondays, and it looks like it's going to be Monday night, which is tonight, like tonight. So hopefully next week I'll be able to do it. And as I said, I'll let you know on the community tab. But we're going to be taking a look at 4 characteristics of hope. I found an article that had that, and so I want to explore that a little more, read more on it, and put it down on paper for us so that we can look at that. And then I would like to get into sharing some Bible verses with you all, explain them and what they mean, and give them context, and hopefully you will take those into your own heart, memorize them if you can, and because when you're armed with the Word of God comes to your mind when you're in the deep of something. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video, even though I was still kind of a little all over the place. And if you did, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe and share the video, make a comment in the comment section below. And God willing, we will see you either next week or the week after. God bless you no matter where you are, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Have a blessed day, and we will see you soon. Bye now. Mwah.